Welcome to another video. In chapter 2, Departure Day. It's a rather long chapter, so grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and here we go. So the weeks and months pass till the day finally arrived and Departure Day. Cases packed, thanks to Mum, and we were ready to head up to Newcastle Airport. About an hour and 15, an hour and 30 drive from where we were. It was a late afternoon, early evening flight, so due to land in Corfu around 2300 or 11 p.m. So after saying our goodbyes, we head through security and passport control and to the gate. So who were we flying with, I thought, looking out of the window. There was our aircraft, and it was Dan Air. Who remembers Dan Air? Or as it was known, Dan Dare. Little did we know it would be one of the last flights from the company after being bought out the following year, I believe. Anyway, the flight was around 3 hours 15 back then, and actually went pretty quick. I was in my own little world till a voice says, "Have you been to Corfu before? Do you know about the runway?" No, I said. "Ah, right. It's partly surrounded by water and it's only a short runway with a road at the end." Cheers for telling me now, pal. You could have waited till we had landed, I thought to myself. Anyway, with a hop, skip and a bump, we land and thankfully stop in plenty of time before the road. So sat there waiting to disembark, the plane's doors open. I'm sure we have all been there, but the heat filled the cabin was nothing that I'd ever felt before. It took my breath away, and being a novice, we were wearing jeans and a sweater. My clothes just instantly stuck to me. I just thought, dear God, it's 11:15 and it's this hot. What's it going to be like in the daytime? We found out it was 33 degrees and the humidity was off the scale. So off we trot from the plane in the heat of the night, walking to the arrivals door and through to passport control. We moved to the baggage carousel, wondering which one out of the two cases were going to come off first. Come on, we've always been there. We're always competition and see who's going to come off first and who's going to be last. As it was, both came off together in the last batch of cases. Of course, you couldn't write it. Eventually, we got our cases and off we trot out of the terminal till we are met by our rep. "Name and where are you staying?" she says. And after my reply, she says, "Bus number 7. And off we go to find bus number 7. We get there and the driver puts the cases on and we board an already half-filled bus. Getting on the bus was like the plane doors opening again, hot and sweaty, and you guessed it, there was no aircon on the bus back then. After about 20 minutes, the rep jumps on and off we go into the darkness of a hot and sticky night. "Evening everybody and welcome to Corfu." So the journey will take us about 1 hour 15 to Sidari. Dear God, I thought, put a fork in me. I'm cooked before the holiday starts. I thought if I shut my eyes and relax, we will be there in no time. But I was buzzing and was far too excited. Sadly, not a great deal to look at outside with it so dark. But I thought the buzz of waking up and seeing what's out there in the morning was going to be special and worth the wait. So trundling along we go and we hit a village cum resort. The rep says, "This is Benitez we are going through. It's popular and the lively resort on the island for those night owls." How times have changed not long after that when the mayor shut it down due to its lively, rowdy behaviour, to be polite. And I'm sure, as we all know and are aware, this only moved the issue to a sleepy village in the south of the island called Cavos. Anyway, finally we arrive in Sidari and the main street. The bars and restaurants are all lit up with people milling around, but it was well past midnight, so not that busy. The bus stops and the rep shouts out some names, including ours, so off we get and grab our cases. To be then told we need to get onto a minibus. As you can imagine, we were hot, sweaty and very tired by now, and not a clue as the minibus scoots along in the dark. There was about 8 of us on the minibus, including 2 young ladies. Here we go, me and my mate thought. And they may be staying where we are. Boys will be boys. Anyway, our eyes met in a hot and sweaty minibus, and a smile is cast between the 4 of us. Yes, it sounds like something of a Mills and Boon book. Love at first sight, or a Greek tragedy waiting to happen. You'll have to wait and see. So there we were on the minibus in the dead of the night, come early morning. The bus stops and off go some more fellow holidaymakers to leave us and the ladies. And with a brake and a little skid, it's our turn to get off, but sadly, not the ladies. So we say our goodbyes. Cue the sad face, but hey, we may see them around resort. The driver says, there, and pointing at this block, you go, key in the door. Really, is that how it's done? Anyway, after looking at the ground floor doors, no key. We climb the stairs to the first floor and we come to a door with a key in the door. This must be us. So we open the door and once again, the heat just took our breath away. It was mafting. Anyway, in we go and open some windows. Not that it helped, as it was so humid outdoors and no breeze at all. The accommodation was room only, like many back then. So no aircon, fridge, etc. Just the room and a bathroom. My mouth, let me get it out, felt like Gandhi's flip-flop. We had no water and had been warned that don't drink the tap water. So we tried to get our heads down and sleep. However, the mozzies had other ideas. You could hear them in the still of the night and it felt like they were dive bombing us. Whose idea was it to open the windows, I thought. I have to say, it's probably the most uncomfortable night I've ever experienced in all my years of being abroad. But did it put me off? Well, 30 odd years later and we're still doing the holiday thing. To be honest, and in hindsight, why we booked room only, I will never know. I guess it was cheap. And as for mozzies, I thought they only existed in Africa or Asia, as my dad, when in the army, contracted malaria, so that's the only way I knew or heard about the little buggers. So that was departure day come arrival day. Done, and the holiday begins in a few hours when morning breaks in our new home for the next 2 weeks. Well, coming up next will be chapter 3 and our first day of the holiday. But on that, thanks again for watching and hope you can join me for the next video. Look after yourself, look after those around you, and I'll see you next time.